Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Jai Radha Madhava Radha Madhava Radhe Jaya Nitai Gauranga Jaya Nitai Gauranga Nitai Gauranga Jaya Nitai Gauranga Jaya Jaya Prabhupada 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 Jai Bo Vishnupada Brahmaspuriyadika Acharya Astotra Shata Sri Sri His Grand Grace Abhay Charanavinda Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada Vrinda Devi Tulsi Marani ki Grandhara Srimad Bhagavatam ki Radai Gaur Purande Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Narayana Namaskritya Naram Cheva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tado Jayamudiraye Nashtaprayesha Padresho Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavate Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naistiki Reading Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, Chapter 31, The Movements of the Living Entities. Text number 7. Khatu tikshnosna lavana rukshamladibhilvanehe Matrabhukte upaspishtaha sarvangotita vedanaha Khatu tikshanosna lavana rukshamladibhilvanehe Matrabhuktair upasishtaha sarvongot atitam vedanaha Word meaning Khatu, bitter, Tikshna, pungent, Ushna, hot. Lavana, salty. Ruksha, ruksha, dry. Amla, sour. Adibihi, and so on. Ulbanaihi, excessive. Matrabhuktaihi, by foods eaten by the mother. Upasrishtaha, affected. Sarvanga, all over the body. Uttita, horizon. Vedanaha, plain, pain. Translation purport by His Grace Arvind Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. Translation. Owing to the mother's eating bitter, pungent foodstuffs, or food which is too salty or too sour, the body of the child incessantly suffers pains which are almost intolerable. Please repeat the translation. Owing to the mother's eating bitter, pungent foodstuffs, or food which is too salty or too sour, the body of the child incessantly suffers pains which are almost intolerable. Purport. All descriptions of the child's bodily situation in the womb of the mother are beyond our conception. It is very difficult to remain in such a position. But still the child has to remain because his consciousness is not very developed. The child can tolerate it, otherwise he would die. That is the benediction of Maya, who endows the suffering body with the qualifications for tolerating such terrible tortures. That is the Bhaktivedanta purport. We'll chant text number 8 also. I will chant myself. Vulbhena samvrutastasmin antraicha bahir avrutaha aste krutva sirha kukshau bhugna prishta shirodaraha. Translation purport by His Grace Arvind Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. Translation. Placed within the amnion and covered outside by the intestines, the child remains lying on one side of the abdomen, his head turned towards his belly, and his back and neck arched like a bow. Please repeat the translation. Placed within the amnion and covered outside by the intestines, the child remains lying on one side of the abdomen, his head turned towards his belly, and his back and neck arched like a bow. Purport. If a grown man were put into such a condition as a child within the abdomen, completely entangled in all respects, it would be impossible for him to live even for a few seconds. Unfortunately, we forget all these sufferings and try to be happy in this life, not caring for the liberation of the soul from entanglement of birth and death. It is an unfortunate civilization in which these matters are not plainly discussed to make people understand the precarious condition of material existence. Thus ends the Bhaktivedanta purport. Om Jnanatimirandasya Gnanjanashalakaya Chakshurmilitam Jena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prestaya Bodhane Srimade Bhaktivedanta Swami Nityanamani Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharini Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pachata Deshata Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gauravakta Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Today is Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur's appearance day. Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur ki. We try to know a little bit about Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur because Srila Prabhupada is our beloved spiritual master, pure devotee, very dear to Lord Krishna, a great person even according to this world. And because of him, because of Srila Prabhupada, today we are reshaped our life. Like Prabhupada said in this purport also in the last line, he says, it's most unfortunate civilization in which we are living, because they are thinking this is all about life. Life is all about the way we are living, the way the world is pursuing. But actual life is totally opposite. And that we are able to understand as a devotees, that is purely causeless mission of Srila Prabhupada. And the one who made Srila Prabhupada great also should have been very great. And that is Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. Srila Prabhupada always recollect that जो कुछ भी मैं दुनिया में किया हूँ, whatever I have achieved in this world, it is just causeless mercy of my spiritual master. I have not done anything, he says. I have not done anything. If at all I have done something, then strictly I try to follow the instructions of my Guru Maharaj, he said. So, knowing about Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur makes us more closer to Srila Prabhupada, our beloved spiritual master. Then how to know about Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur? If we know Bhaktivedanta Swami better, we'll come to know Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur better. Bhaktivedanta Swami is made by Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. His personality reflects in. Bhaktivedanta Swami personality reflects Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur's personality. By that process, if you know Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur more deeply, then we will know Bhaktivedanta Thakur. So these three personalities, very, very important personalities in our parampara. Of course, all acharyas are very important. Just like for Gaudiya Vaishnavas, three deities are most important deities. Radha, Madana Mohan ji, Govind Dev ji and Gopinath ji. They are called Gaudera Teenanada. There are so many deities are there, but among all these three deities are most important deities for the Gaudiya Vaishnavas. Likewise, These three personalities, Acharyas, Bhakti Vinod Thakur, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, and Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. Without these three personalities, if anybody practicing Krishna consciousness, anybody goes to Vrindavan, we can't follow, we can't attain Krishna, we can't follow Krishna conscious principles properly. Many people have taken shelter of Dham. Many people goes to Dham and stay there. Or many times people adopts Krishna consciousness by taking up chanting Hare Krishna Mantra. But if they don't understand these personalities, they cannot get ultimate end. Because these three personalities directly comes from Krishna. In fact, our whole Vaishnava Parampara, Vaishnava Acharya, specifically in Gaudiya Vaishnava Parampara. Recently also we were hearing Chanchala Prabhu's class. Who is that Acharya coming in Gaudiya Vaishnava Parampara? He is directly personal associate of Krishna in the Goloka Vrindavan. Nikunja Ratikeli Siddhai. They are personal associates, they are personally arranging services in the service of the Lord Radha Krishna in Goloka Vrindavan. And these personalities are the mouthpiece of Lord Krishna. They are Krishna Vani. Krishna is speaking through their mouth. Krishna is writing through their hands. Baladeva Vidya Bhushan, another exalted Acharya in Parampara. He wrote Gita Bhashya, but he declared that no, it's not Gita Bhashya, it is a Govinda Bhashya. Why? Because Govinda Dev personally wrote. Physically, Baladeva Vidya Bhushan was writing, but actually Govinda Dev is the one who is narrating. That's what Prabhupada says, that these purports are not written by me. It is directly Krishna dictating. That's how even I relish by reading these purports. Prabhupada says, even I read Krishna book. I read Krishna book and relish because this book is not written by me. It is Krishna dictated. So these three personalities, or all our acharyas for that matter, they are the Krishna Vani. They brought down directly Krishna's swara. All other saintly people we see in today's world, they all have become saints, or they have acquired knowledge from their swadhyaya, by their reading scriptures, by their sadhana, by tapasya. But these personalities are not just they become one day, they become purified, and one day they have attained sakshatkara. No, they are directly come from Krishna Loka. In fact, Prabhupada recollection one of this thing that how that Krishna forced him to come here, even though he is not inclined to come here. Why is not inclined? Because this world is far away from Krishna. Material world is nothing but ignorance. So, who is Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur? How to know about him? So, if any personality, if you wanted to know, we should know from his Vani. Especially the spiritual personalities, pure devotees. Even living with him is also sometime will miss knowing that personality in completeness. That's how a pure devotee should be known only through his Vani. That's what Prabhupada gives. Of course, Vap is also important. Prabhupada says Vani and Vap both are important, but one is more important than Vapu. Otherwise, without having access to the Vani, we will not be able to understand them fully. Many people who are associated with these personalities have left them. Most of the Prabhupada's disciples are very famous personalities. Even now we recollect and now we hear their memories. We have so much of reverence to all of them, but most of them during Prabhupada, most of the famous personalities whom we are today known as a very dear Prabhupada's disciples in pre-1977, many of them, or some of them at least, left Prabhupada's movement even those days, left Prabhupada's shelter those days. Or sometime they left and they even came back, Prabhupada mercifully accepted them. Because it's very difficult to perceive a pure devotee through these limited senses. Because everybody is having these four limitations. Committing mistakes, cheating tendency, and imperfect senses, and getting illusion. These imperfect senses, how can we understand a pure devotee, the glories of pure devotee? Likewise, there used to be one person called Mitra. He came to Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. He wanted to take sannyasa. But at that time, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur was extremely busy in constructing temple. So this person came to take sannyasa by knowing Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur is a very renowned sannyasi, very popular, and as today morning we were reading that how he is known as Narsimha Guru, Lion Guru, Simha Guru. In very childhood he became well versed with scriptures. He was known as walking Vedic encyclopedia. Very popular personality those days. So when he heard about the Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, as a great renowned sannyasi, so this Mitra went to Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur because he wanted to take sannyasa, but he saw that he is totally busy in constructing temple, morning to evening, roaming around on the site and dealing with the laborers. So this Mitra felt, what kind of sannyasi is? He is so busy in work. He is not a Vairagi. I want to take shelter. With a person who is totally Vairagi or Vairagya, who is having Vairagya. So he left that occasion. He left that association. He left. Then he went to Kulyagram. There in Kulyagram, Gaurkishore Das Babaji was sitting and meditating or chanting. He was chanting there. So he went there and he paid obeisances and said, "Oh, you are real Babaji. I wanted your shelter because you are a true Vairagi." So anyway, Gaurkishore Babaji, he just ignores. He is his bhajana. He is bhajananandi. He was doing his bhajana and he keeps himself. People comes and goes. He doesn't mind. Some people come and goes. If they are coming to him to pray and with so much of material, this thing, so he wants to even avoid them also. But some coming and sitting and he wanted to do service. He's not too much bothered who is coming, who is going. So this Mitra wanted to take shelter, he wanted to be there, so he was there. He was self-appointed secretary. Self-appointed. Himself he declared that, I am Babaji's assistant woman. So Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, sometime he used to go to meet his guru Gaurkashadas Babaji to Kuliagram. So when he go there, this self-appointed secretary, he never used to allow him because he never used to treat Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur as a sadhu. No, you cannot come here. So anyway, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur was paying Dandavat from outside only and he was just going. So like that, this person used to offend Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. So because of those offenses, he started going to prostitutes, his mitra. And he used to steal and he developed all the bad habits. This Vaishnava Aparada is like, our Shastra says, it's just like mad elephant. He'll destroy all that field, all that bhakti field. So then, when Gaurkishadas Babaji came to know about his behavior, his conduct, he with a folded hand, he pleaded him, please go away from my place. Please go away from this place. Then he went and he became Grostha and he led his own life. So, Srila Prabhupada many times used to say that many were not able to understand Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. He was a very tough man. He was very much against this caste Brahmana system. And also there's so many Gauda Vaishnavas. In the Gauda Vaishnava Parampara, there's so many Apasampradayas which was actually, defeated or argued by Bhaktivinoda Thakur. And Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur further continued. And so much so that these many caste Brahmanas, they wanted to even kill Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. So very difficult. Actually, a pure devotee will not, common man will not be able to understand the pure devotee. What to speak about Bhaktisiddhanta, even Prabhupada for that matter. Many devotees, many disciples, initial days, they have not understood who Prabhupada is. Today we are very fortunate. All that literature, what Prabhupada wrote, what Prabhupada spoke, everything is available for us. Everything is available. We are so fortunate. Sometimes I used to feel, the year 1977, the year I born, that is the year Prabhupada left this world. So sometimes I used to think, some years earlier I should have born. But who knows? There is no guarantee we would have met Prabhupada even if we had born prayer. And even if we have met Prabhupada, we would have not understood Prabhupada in the right way. Many of his disciples have not understood those days. But later on, by his causeless mercy, by Prabhupada's causeless mercy, they are able to glorify so much. So unless his mercy, unless his causeless mercy, it's very difficult to understand a pure devotee. Very difficult. So only by his Vani, only by his literature, only by his Siksha, we'll be able to understand. So with the pure devotees, to understand or to make relationship is possible only by their teachings. One should not be in illusion that, a pure devotee should come in front of me and then should receive me. Yes, you should have eyes to receive. You should have eyes to see that pure devotee who has come in front of you to receive you, to accept you as its disciple. We should have that eyes, we should have that ability to understand that. That ability comes by associating with that pure devotee through his siksha, through his vani. And to understand, to make his relationship or to see him, darshan of Guru, that is possible only by service unto them, by seva. Seva. This is what exactly Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur has imparted. He has given so much of importance to seva. Bhaktivinoda Thakur has emphasized so much on Nama, this Nama, personality, Nama Prabhu. It was coined by Bhaktivinoda Thakur. He, not coined, sorry, but who, propitiated or informed or declared or brought such kind of understanding to the common man is Nama Prabhu. So much of emphasis he has given on chanting the holy name of the Lord. And Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur emphasized that chanting holy name of the Lord as a service. And Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada has emphasized that prachara, that preaching, reaching out the holy name to everybody. And that is the way one should engage, that is the way one should serve. So you see all three are in sync. So who is Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur? Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, who is very famous as Lion Guru, he was actually, we know from the Bhaktivinoda Thakur prayed to Jagannath that please bring a son to me, the one who can preach this message, who can take this parampara forward. So actually he is a Varaprasada. He is bestowed, he is the Lord has blessed Bhaktivinoda Thakur with a child who will continue his parampara. And not only that, he was that praman bhi mil gaya tha. Bhaktivinoda Thakur got even pramana that yes, he is that child who is going to take this parampara forward. That just at the age of 6 months of Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, a small child, Bhaktivinoda Thakur being the magistrate on the Radha day, when Radha stopped at his residence, when Bhaktivinoda Thakur climbed on the Radha and he paid obeisances to Lord Jagannath, and when he bent and a garland fall from Lord Jagannath and on the neck of the small child, so Bhaktivinoda Thakur considered that he got that indication, the pramana from the Lord himself, that he got a son, he has a son who is going to preach the glories of Lord Jagannatha, Krishna, all over the world. And Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, known for his very strict vows, he is a Naistik Brahmachari. Prabhupada many times quotes that how one should remain Brahmachari, Naistik Brahmachari, like his spiritual master, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. In any vows he has taken, he is very strict. We all know that pastime in childhood. how by mistake as a child he took the fruit and he was eating mango fruit, and mother or father comes and says that how can you take that fruit? It is meant for offering to the Lord. It is an offense. So he took it so strongly to his heart. Oh, I am an offender. I am an offender. I took that mango which is meant for the offering for the Lord. So for the whole life he never taken mango. Whole life. Actually the one who is, the one who is very attached to Prabhupada, and the one who is very attached to Bhaktivedanta Swami Thakur, the one who is very attached to Parampara Acharya, it's very easy to follow the vows, any vows for that matter. If any devotee says that, Prabhu, I'm struggling, that means we have not developed that kind of attachment to our Guru. We have not developed that kind of attachment to the Guru. We are not sufficiently hearing from our Guru, because they have that Shakti, that potency. Only by associating with them, we will be able to draw that potency. They are free. They are, like Prabhupada writes now, he says, Krishna is unlimitedly merciful. And not only that, unlimitedly merciful, he wanted to give that mercy unlimitedly to his devotees. They are very compassionate. Udhara. They are very unlimitedly merciful. But the only thing is, we'll develop that ability to draw that causeless mercy from them only when we render service unto them, when we associate with them. How to associate to render service? So, Bhaktisiddhanta Swami Thakur, very strict in his vows. When some of the traditional caste Brahmanas were planning to murder or kill him, Bhaktivinoda Thakur said no, because he wrote a book called Vaishnava and Brahmana, and he was going and giving, discourses on that subject matter. So these traditional Brahmanas very upset with him. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur came to know about this Shadayantra they are making to kill Bhaktisiddhanta Swami Thakur. So immediately called him and said, no, just go away from this place immediately. He was not afraid, but anyway he has to obey his father and revered personality. So he left, he went to Mayapur. He sat on the bank of Ganges, and for the next 9.5 years, close to 10 years, he was chanting Hare Krishna Mandir for 9.5 years. Every day he was chanting 3 lakh names. 3 lakh names. Closely take almost 22 hours, 20 to 22 hours. He chanted 100 crore names. 100 crore names he chanted. Just imagine. Then he came out of that samadhi of chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra. We know the kind of austerities during those days he used to take. The boiled rice on the floor, he used to eat like a cow. So much of austerities. From that Samadhi state he came out and established the mission, established the movement called Gaudiya Math. When it was 1919? 1919, I think he established Gaudiya Math. Prabhupada met after 3 years. 1922, Prabhupada, Bhaktivedanta Prabhupada met. He established Gaudiya Math. And those days, across the country, he established 64 Gaudiya Maths. Just imagine. Those days, from 1919 to 1936. How many years? 17 years. 18 years. 1919 to 36. 17, 18 years. 64 Gaudiya Maths established. He was looking after temple construction. He was preaching, was traveling extensively, and he was defeating many so-called religious preachers and cheaters at those days. Oh, it's a Herculean task. It's a Herculean task. He was in a great rush to establish the Gaudiya Vaishnava philosophy. And for that, he envisaged that there has to be established temples. And one of the incident I recollected that if you go to Alarnath, Jagannath Puri, if you go to Alarnath, in front of the Alarnath temple there is a Gaudiya Math. The temple construction was personally overseen by Bhaktivedanta Swami. So labor were not coming. He wanted to finish construct the temple because he was practically all over. He was traveling. He wanted to construct the temple, and the labor not sufficient timely. They are not coming, and he found what is the problem. Swamiji, they all wanted to smoke bidi, but you don't allow them. Bhaktisiddhanta said, don't worry, we'll supply bidis. We'll supply bidis, let them come and see how he engaged. And that's what even Prabhupada said. Even Prabhupada also said. That doesn't matter if they are smoking, drinking, doesn't matter if they are chanting Hare Krishna Mantra, they'll get purified. By just engaging them in the service of that, everybody cannot be at same level. Just by engaging them, somehow or other by engaging them in the service of the Lord, they all get purified. So, Bhaktisiddhanta Swami Thakur established very strict principles for the followers. But common people, Pamaras, somehow or other, he was encouraging them, engaging them in the service of the Lord. And Bhaktisiddhanta Swami Thakur said that if somebody doesn't chant 64 rounds, he is not even human being. He is very, very strict on that. That's how he used to, only brahmacharis and sannyasis used to be in the mat. And for grosthas, he said that they have to be at the home and still they have to practice. They also should chant without fail. They wanted to accept bhakti seriously. If they don't have time, because of the household, they don't have much time to chant, and he used to say they should forego sleep. So, what he was not at all accepting what to say, lethargy or lazy. No. Bhakti means very strict principles. You can engage. He used to say, he never used to accept any bogey, who is sense gratifier, somehow or other. Just like that, his spiritual master is like that. His spiritual master, Gaurkishore Babaji, any bogey comes and want to take some Ashirvada from him, he used to run away from him. Where his guru used to run away from bogies. But where Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur, what he used to do? Bhaga dete the. He never used to allow him come even nearby. Strictly, principles are very strictly. So he never used to accept boga, or he never used to accept bogies. Because he used to stress so much on purity. Purity and the conduct. Otherwise, the reason for all the sufferings in this world is what? Because sensory gratification, bogi. That we are reading the scriptures, this portion of Srimad Bhagavatam. What is it? Katu, Tikshana, Ushna, Lavana, Ruksha, Amla, Adibhir, Vulbanaihi, Matru, Bhuktair, Upasishtaha. One is getting affected. Affected by, within the womb of the mother, he is affected by all over the world. Sarva Anga, Utita, Vedanaha. Because his body is already developed now, he is experiencing so much of pain within the womb. And the pain is from what? Pain is coming from the food taken from the mother. And first of all, why you have to go there? Why you have to go there? Why you have to suffer? We have gone there because of our karma. So much of karmic reactions. And because of that, so much of suffering. And Prabhupada writes in this purport, all descriptions of the child's bodily situation, the womb of the mother, are beyond conception. हम imagine भी नहीं कर सकता है. इतना वेदना, Vedana, pain, so much of pain, so much of struggle. Yatana deha, praptaha yatanaha. One is attained, one is bestowed. Prabhupada, that also he writes in this purport, that it is what that? It is the benediction of Maya. Even to attain such kind of body to suffer. How come it is benediction? Suffering bodies means benediction. No, if you have to so much of pain, so much of Vedana, then you will die, no? No, it says you will not die. Because his consciousness is not very developed, the child can tolerate it. Otherwise you would die. Consciousness is not developed. That means Maya Devi is facilitating you. कुछ समय तक आप ऐसे सफर करो. So much of suffering in this world. So much of, pain we have to go through. And what kind of pain? Specifically within the womb, two kinds of pains are mentioned. One is, for nourishment, you have to take the food from mother, and all that food, what you are taking, that is becoming so much of problem. And second thing is, so many Kida, bacteria biting, tormenting. So why one has to go through such kind of suffering? And also this is not the first time one is going through such kind of suffering. As we learned from the previous chapter, many births and many species. Urdham gachanti sattvasta, madhye tishtanti rajasa, adho gachanti tamasa. Sometime Swargalokas, higher planets, sometimes in the earthly planets, sometime in the hellish worlds. Constantly we are life after life, constantly we are taking birth. What is happening? Why so much of suffering? Because of we are influenced by gunas. Maya Devi constantly, what that Rupa says here? That this is the benediction, there is a benediction of Maya. You have to suffer. You have to accept the body and suffer. The Maya who endows the suffering body with the qualifications for tolerating such terrible tortures. And Maya Devi, the three strings are there in the Maya Devi. The three strings are Satoguna, Rajoguna and Tamoguna. Say for example, a small boy saw a seat in the corner. What boy does? He crawls, go closer, reach the seat and try to sit on it. But actually it is not a seat, it is a python sitting in the corner of the room. So he is trying to climb the python, thinking it is a chair, thinking it is a seat, cushion. And just he disappears. Python swallows him. So, you just analyze. Boy is actually in ignorance. He is in illusion. He is in Maya. The famous example, what is the example generally we cite for the illusion? Seeing the rope as a snake. Here is, he doesn't understand it is a python. Total ignorance. So, Jiva is also ignorance. Jiva is in ignorance about death. Jiva is ignorance about the misery. That's why Prabhupada says, so we are living in such an unfortunate world. What is that he says? It is a very unfortunate civilization in which these matters are not plainly discussed. Not plainly discussed to make people understand the precarious condition of material existence. So, these concepts of three modes, the gunas, how the Maya Devi is actually covering all of us, are forcing us to act. See, it is told karmana devanetrena. By our activities, by resultant of our activities, we are accepting deha upapatyate. We are accepting one more body. We are awarded a body. But the karma, from Bhagavad Gita, we understand who is doing this karma. We are doing karma. All the karmas are driven by what? Three gunas. Ahankara, Mudatma, Kartaham iti manyate. He thinks that he is the doer, but actually who is the doer? Karma, the Trigunas are driving. And why Trigunas are driving you? Because you are captured. A slave is working. He's a captured slave. So we became slaves for sense gratification. That's how Trigunas, we are always under, controlled, binded by Trigunas, Maya Devi, etc. So how to understand the effect of Trigunas? How you approach that particular object determined by what mode you are controlled, or what mode is controlling you. Say for example, the corner of the room there is a python. You know that there is a python, then you don't go nearby it. You know about it. In fact, you run away, not just going, forget about going, not going. You run away from that place. So your awareness, knowing about it, you are situated in Sattva-guna. And you are aware, but still you want to enjoy that soft skin, soft touch of that python at the cost of risking your life. At the cost of risking your life. This is called Rajoguna. You know it's a python. You know it's very harmful for you. Harmful, what kind of harmful? You'll be lost, you'll be killed. Still, try मार के देखेंगे. Rajoguna. Because you are driven by force of enjoyment. So much of force within. Passion. Lust. The third person is thinking that object, oh, it's a very nice seat. Total ignorance. He doesn't even recognize that as a python. So, Sattva-guna, awareness, knowing is a Maya. Knowing this world is very, the material existence, the precarious conditions of the material existence purifies our existence. Purifies our existence. So real knowledge will purify our existence. And the person who attains the real knowledge, or the one who gets purified, is eligible to go to higher planets. The person who is driven by so much of passion to enjoy the senses in this world is always in distress in this world. Is always in distress. Grief develops, grief. And such kind of people are roaming around on this earth, earthly planets. And the foolish people, tamoguna, foolish people, they are just mad. They are an illusion. They go to hellish planets. They go to hellish planets. Like what we described, what we discussed in the previous chapter, people go to the hellish planets. Hell. Not that everybody goes to hell. People who are situated in Sattva-guna, they don't go to hell. They directly go to Swargalokas. Khaskar devotees never go to hell. Anybody take the holy name of the Lord, even by unintentionally takes the holy name of the Lord, he will not go to hell. He'll be escaped from going to hell. Ajamila, so sinful he was. but so fortunate enough to take up the holy name of the Lord unintentionally. Unintentionally means his intention is to call out his son's name, son. But he became very fortunate because Prabhupada says he became fortunate to take out the holy name because he named his son as Narayana. That was his fortune. And how he could name his son as Narayana? Because he was worshipping Lord in his younger days, in his youthhood. In his youth, he used to worship the Lord. He is a priest. So he was fortunate enough. So the devotees will never go to hellish planets. Even when devotee enters the womb of the mother, no doubt difficulties will be there, suffering will be there, but he will not be bitten by the worms in the womb also for devotees. How worms will discriminate? He is a devotee or non-devotee. See, Prabhupada says that a yogi who is meditating on the Lord in the forest, snakes will not bite him. Snakes will not bite him. Tiger will not attack him. Why? Because he is meditating in the Lord. He is a yogi meditating in the Lord. The Paramatma in the heart. He is seeing his sincerity. And Paramatma in the heart of snake divert him away. Have you heard this? Prabhupada said, a yogi will not be attacked by species. Like that, if a devotee Atma enters the womb of the mother, he will not be attacked by worms like that. He will not be attacked. And no doubt is very precarious. It doesn't mean that he will not, is all lovely place there. No. Still is kadda. What is that? In the previous one of the sloka I had mentioned, garte. Garte means in a hollow. Kadda. Deep well. Still it is garte. Even for devotees also the garte only. But he will not be suffering like that. Especially if mother and father are devotees, Vaishnavas, they can nourish the child with the holy name, with the Krishna Katha. Oh, the child will be relishing there also. Krishna Katha. So one has to become devotee of the Lord. And one should not get caught up this, Tamoguna is bad, Rajoguna is bad, let me become Satyaguna. Let me situate in Satyaguna. See, whether you are in Satyaguna, Rajoguna and Tamoguna, all are in illusion. All three are all illusion. Why? Because Krishna is saying, you are not seeing me in that. You should understand me. Going to hell planets what? Ultimately for what purpose? What you will achieve by going to hell planets? There also enjoyment. So, in the Bhagavatam, in the second canto, Krishna is saying to Brahmaji that Rite Artham Yat Pratiyeta Na Pratiyeta Cha Atmani Tad Vidyat Atmano Mayam. Tad Vidyat Atmano Mayam. First of all, you should know Vidyat. Knowing, you must know, not know, you must know. Vidyat Atmanaha. You must know it is my illusory energy. It is my illusory energy. Vidyat Atmano Mayam. It is my illusory energy. If you don't know that you are in a precarious condition, and this is all arranged by Maya, and that is my Maya, my energy. Mama Maya Duratyaya. Very difficult to cross over. If you don't know that, whatever facilities you have, rite artham yata pratiyeta, that whatever appears to be very meaningful in life, whatever appears to be very valuable in life, na pratiyeta cha atmani, na pratiyeta, it is not reality. There is no reality in it. So unless you have unless you see Krishna in everything, and even Sattva-guna for that matter is also part of this three gunas, part of this three worlds, mayas, this thing. So devotee has to see Krishna's connection. Krishna's connection. You closer to Krishna, yes, Sattva-guna is closer to Krishna, farther to Krishna, and the farther to Krishna is ignorance. And due to ignorance, we are suffering in this world. And Sattva-guna takes us closer to Krishna. That is running away from Maya, running away from Python. That helps, but that's not, that only helps. But running away, where are you running away? Where are you going away? You escape from one Python from here, if you run away to other direction, another Python is sitting there. So running away, running around this world from one to another, just like moving weight from one shoulder to another shoulder. So establishing connection with Krishna. So we are suffering. We have the suffering body, and we are suffering and also tolerating that suffering. And that Prabhupada says that is due to Maya's benediction. Maya's benediction, illusion energy. Illusion energy. And the kind of suffering what we go through, as this sloka says, intolerable, almost intolerable. The suffer, incessantly suffers pains which are almost intolerable. So how can I stop this Maya? How can I stop this illusion? Illusion is actually in my mind. Just now we discussed, the thinking. How do we think? How we think is all about. So can I control? Can I come out of the illusion? Can I stop this thinking in that direction? Actually not possible, because illusion is not created by us. Illusion is actually created by the Lord. Citizens have not created police. Police created by government. If you cannot, you cannot control the police. Control is running behind, the police is running behind you, and you cannot stop them because they are not your order carriers. The Maya is not created by us. Just because the illusion is not created by you. So how can you control it? Where the ability for you to control? It is control. No, it is Maya is created by God. Only Krishna can control Maya. What we created is actually our criminal mindset, our criminal desire. Just because we created a criminal desire, or we are thinking in the direction, that's how police is behind us. If you don't think criminally, then why police is behind you? Why Maya is behind us? Why illusion is, why we are coming under the influence of illusion? So, if at all we can control what we create, what we create is our criminal desire. So what is that criminal desire? Criminal desire is, I wanted to enjoy independent of Krishna. That is our criminal desire. We wanted to enjoy independent of Krishna. Independence of the living entity in this world is not real independence. Real independence is there in the spiritual world. The independence in this world is referred as, in the Bhagavatam is referred as the kind of independence a cow has. Cow which is tied with a rope, that has a independence. What is the length of the rope is the independence. If you get into a showroom to purchase a watch, you have an independence, you have the ability to purchase the watch based on the purse size. There's so many costly, very nicely designed watches are there, but you don't have the freedom, or you don't have that ability to purchase. You can purchase based on your. But next, the very question is, first of all, to enter the showroom to purchase or not. That is the issue. Similarly, after coming to this world, our independence is completely curtailed. Completely curtailed. And what are the factors which is influencing our independence here in this world? Our destiny, created by our own criminal desires. Our own criminal desires. That's why it's a karmana devanetrena jantur uppatyate. Our own criminal desires. And that's how, because of that, what is happening? Our constitutional free will was taken away. The illusory material independence we are getting here. And that's how it's taken away. The true freedom is choosing service to Supreme Personality of Godhead. That is the true freedom. So that's what Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada teaches, that just by engaging the devotion service of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, one will be able to attain that real independence, freedom. So purification is very, very important principle. The purification. So the purity is the force. Even Prabhupada refers, the purity is the force. Otherwise what will happen? This is what exactly happens. Otherwise, if you are not purified, and so much of suffering one has to go through. And in spite of going through so much of suffering, we forget all these sufferings and try to be happy in this life again. This is called illusion. He says, unfortunately, we forget all these sufferings and try to be happy in this life, not caring for the liberation of the soul from the entanglement of birth and death. It is an unfortunate civilization in which the matters are not plainly discussed to make people understand the precarious condition of material existence. So we are very fortunate, in spite of living in unfortunate civilization, we are very fortunate to have Prabhupada as a father, and to have Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur as our Param Guru, grandfather. And Prabhupada says sometimes grandfather is more merciful than the father. So let us all pray to Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur on this most auspicious appearance day, his appearance day, to bestow us with that seva bhav, and also to adhere to the vows strictly, whatever vows we have taken. In a disciple life, vow should be single. There should not be multiple vows. Only one thing. Especially the life dedicated devotees. There should not be any other thought other than my life is Prabhupada's Siksha. So let us pray to Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur on this auspicious occasion to become a sincere and serious disciple of Srila Prabhupada. We'll stop here. Any question or comments? Yes.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, Dandavats. It is mentioned that there are 84 lakh species, and Prabhupada says that if one fall down means millions of years of gap. Now it is understood that it is our own desire to enjoy independent to Krishna, and therefore we suffer. But the arrangement of suffering for millions of years is made by Krishna only. So how can we see that Krishna loves us the most? Still, he makes these millions of years of struggle and suffering, and not a small period.
No, Krishna has not made millions of lives you have to suffer. And as long as you don't turn towards him. In fact, Prabhupada says one moment is sufficient. Paramatma Atma ke bagal mein baitha hua hai. Paramatma is sitting next to Atma. And why is sitting next? Not only in the human body, in every species. Every species is sitting. At least once that Atma turns towards Paramatma, he wants to just take him back to Godhead. That's all. That's the whole purpose. Otherwise, why Lord is coming here along with Atma? It's Atma's desire to be independent of Krishna. But Lord has not left him. Suvidam Sarvabhutanam. He is a well-wisher of every species, every living entity. So, we are not turning towards him. Okay, in other species you are not able to turn because, in a particular way you are designed, your life is designed. But human form of life, higher intelligence is you are bestowed with a higher intelligence, where you can feel the suffering. A dog cannot think that he is suffering. Even though suffering is there, but dog cannot think he is suffering. But human being, he can know that how dog is suffering, and also he can know that how humans are suffering, and also he can perceive even he is suffering. That is called viveka. Intelligence is there, discriminating ability is there. So that's what Prabhupada is writing, that one has to understand that is so much of suffering is there in this world. Then he will turn towards. What is that? One of the purport Prabhupada, previous purport Prabhupada writes that death, one should know that this birth and death is so much of suffering. One should know the difficulties of birth and death. Yes. It is specifically mentioned in the Bhagavad Gita that one should be very alert to understand the specific difficulties of birth and death. One should be alert. So Lord has not created difficulties. Lord has created a police department. We created the criminal desires, and because of that we are suffering. If we don't suffer, there is no chance of reformation. There is no chance of reformation. So the time and again Lord is facilitating us to come out of this. We should take this fortune, what Krishna is facilitating in the human form of life. So it's not that Lord is making us to go through suffering. Arrangement is there to reform. Whether you're utilizing it as reform or the suffering is also you are enjoying. Okay, this is the way I want it. What can be done? But still Krishna will not leave. Still Krishna will not leave. He'll come life after life, life after life. You ignore him, but he will behind you. You deny his existence of God, but still, okay, you don't listen me, okay, you listen at least some devotee, he will send devotee. Okay, you don't want to listen devotee also, okay, at least follow mother and father. Mother and father you follow. Okay, any other question?
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj went to Mayapur and 9 to 10 years did tapasya, and boiled rice is eating like cow. So our tapasya and how it is different, like we are not doing tapasya.
We cannot do such kind of tapasya, that's how Prabhupada is given, you just take prasadam. At least that much we should do. Right? Whatever is offered to the deities only we should take. We should not take anything else. What is possible for him, we should not imitate. You were chanting 3 lakh names, like Haridas Thakur, Bhaktivedanta, they all are chanting 3 lakh names. Can we chant? So what is prescribed us, we should take. But we should know their glories. We should know glories. Prabhupada, to establish ISKCON movement, how many years of tapasya he did? Last instruction he received from Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada from his guru is 1936. 1936 to 1966. How many years? 40 years of tapasya. And that 40 years, not even a day, he was not thinking about how to fulfill his guru's order. Not even a day. Or probably not even a moment. And how this way, that way, this way, that way, so many ways he was trying to say. He's constantly meditating on it. But आजकल थोड़ा बहुत प्रचार कर लेता है, and प्रचार भी हम थोड़ी कर रहा है. Prabhupada is the one who is doing prachara through his books. Okay, sometime our mouths, Prabhupada is engaging our mouths. No, from our mouth we say, we preach to the people, and people they Prabhuji, Prabhuji, Guruji, Guruji बोल देते हैं हमको. We are not even प्रभु नाम बोलने के लिए लायक नहीं है. मतलब we are not even उसके लिए भी लायक नहीं है. प्रभु बोल के संबोधित करने के लिए भी लायक नहीं है हम. But still Prabhupada is bringing so much of credit to us because his Vani we are speaking. Without recognizing, realizing that, and we know what is our lives are, what kind of tapasya we are doing, and suddenly one day we claim ourselves as devotees, preachers, and आगे बढ़ के guru भी. People want to declare gurus, so Goshit, self-proclaimed gurus. See, we are not aversion to the word guru, please understand. We are not aversion to the word guru. Yes, every one of us become guru. Right? Our Bharati Samskriti is so this thing, that anybody who gives, just some direction, we be very reverential towards them. And first guru is mother, father, relatives, school teachers, everybody will revere. But we are not talking such kind of guru. They all are reverential, everybody should be respected. But the guru whom we are talking about, the personality of God, who is direct associate of personality of Godhead, who takes us back to Godhead. When we understand their position, that reverence is in different realm altogether. Then we can never dare to imitate them or take their positions. So the kind of tapasya they did, only they could do. But what is asked us to do, we should, at least that much we should do strictly. That much we should do. We are asked to chant 16 rounds without fail, attentively. We are asked to take only Krishna Prasadam without fail. And one place Prabhupada said, I'll read that statement.